Shadows with a live stream. And the reason I wanted to come on today, there's a lot of figure news. I also want to respond real quick. On the last live stream, somebody made what I believe to be a racist comment. Now, if they didn't intend that within their language, sure. However, when I am an English speaking person and someone types three letters that are K, after one another, I'm going to be a little insulted. You know what I'm saying? So it just happened that I was wearing the Whitney Houston hoodie. Today I got Tupac. So if anyone wants to say anything, go ahead. But yeah, so it was a little insulting to me. So that's why I went a little off. I put that as my live highlight, and you know, not cool. It's not who I am. If you ever listen to me, if you ever watch me, if you ever watch my channels, we don't do racist stuff. We don't do homophobic stuff. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's within good nature. Unless like it's just for fun and it's not just hate, you know what I mean? Like, if we can be cool about it and everybody's cool about it, that's cool with me, you know what I mean? But, like, when you're just showing me out as, like, oh, pirate racist because I got one eye, like, it's a little bit, like, come on, man, like, I'm just trying to like show people wrestling figures, like my love for pro wrestling. And if you're too busy like wondering about race relations when I haven't said anything racist or done anything racist, then it's a little silly. So I'll start it off with that. I also said today, and I'll start off like this just to because I did promise it. This is that Danny Davis TRT Title Run Toys. I've been wicked interested, like, to unbox it. I've always wanted a Danny Davis, and I think it's great. It's a retro. Out of the package, I mean, looking inside the sealed package, it looks pretty good. Maybe the head's a little big, but we're gonna unbox it anyway. Bay. So here it is. I get comments. Mr. Guzman, what's up? Yes, I do watch WWE, of course. I was a main fan in like the 90s. That was my main fan frame, if you will. I've kept up with it for years, though, because I'm just a pro wrestling fan. Am I a fan of everything they've done ever since? Not really. I mean, some of the things were a little like, but I still watch it to this day. I remember 2020, it was like so bad that I was like, I'm never going to watch this again. Or it's 2019, I forget. Whenever the angle with the Lashley, like Lana marriage, that sucked. That was the worst. And I was like, man, I'm embarrassed to be a wrestling fan. Lana angle with Lashley, for some reason with Rusev, I was just done. I was just done after that. Took a little while, I would watch it here and there. And then I heard that Vince was going to be out and Triple H was going to be in. So I gave it a shot. At the beginning, really, really good. And I was like, wow, I'm back in it. This last 2025, yeah. I don't know. It seems to like, I don't know if it's maybe, I don't know. I'm a fan of the 90s, so Rock showing up in 2024 sway my feelings on it? Probably. I mean, but he did really good. I mean, like, the final boss character was cool until they effed it up with John Cena, and that's been stupid. I mean, like, ugh. Yeah, that was rough. Travis Scott, like, seriously. I mean, if you're a fan of him, cool. But I'm not a fan of him in wrestling. He sucks ass. So, like, I'd rather not deal with him. So I'm glad he's out of the fold because that was stupid. And that just put a blemish on that whole, like, I remember being like, if this is going to be a huge moment, what a blemish that Travis Scott is on the screen with this. And it's an autographed card by Topps. I'm not an autograph guy, but I saw an autograph card by Topps with him rocking John Cena. I'm like, way to ruin a card, bro. I see a little bit. What do we got here? Because in 2020 they will begin their final crowd on SmackDown, but it was actually versus the crowd. John Cena versus The Rock in 2026. Sebastian, yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, yeah, 2020 was I mean, besides the effing pandemic and the COVID and all that shit that we all went through personally, it was a rough year for wrestling too. Like, it was a rough time. I know, like, Edge just returned to Royal Rumble, so that added a little spark. But yeah, the rest of the year was rough, and it was just bad that I was like, man, like all right, like in the 90s, in the 2000s, even mid 2000s, I was like a weekly viewer every minute, every hour, second. I absorbed that. Once like 2005, 2006 rolled, maybe when Eddie Guerrero's death happened, something about that after that, it started being like, I'll catch it when I catch it. When 20 came around, I was like, forget it. I'm not even watching this crap. And I swear, and I've already mentioned it, the Lashley, Lana, and Rusev thing was so brutal and so badly done that I was like, what is this crap? This is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. So, like, pretty much that point on, I took a little bit of a hiatus, if you will. I took a little bit, wish you on your best endeavors. So I took off for a bit. I'd say when I started watching was when I heard Vince was out. Okay, as a human being, from what I've heard and what is presented to me, and what are the accusations? I don't know the man, I don't know the woman, but from what I hear, it's totally disgusting. I mean, that's gross. However, as a character, Mr. Vince McMahon, I loved him. I mean, I'll still hear his voice to this day. Like, he was so extra intense and so goofy that it just made it so, like, fun. And I'm sure it was fun for the people in his real life that he assaulted, so I'm not gonna, like, throw, like, a little light blanket on that one. But as far as a character, as far as an announcer, as far as Mr. McMahon, the heel character, I love that stuff. I have to admit. It sucks that, like, he turned out to be such a, actually, literally shitty human. You know what I'm saying? But I will say, like, when I watched back in the day, some of the things he says just so hilarious in his voice, like, the typical, what a maneuver. That, like, crazy ass voice is just, I love that, and I will imitate it to the end of my days. In my fig fed, I'm not a customizer or anything, but I did the brilliant idea. I wish I had the figures with me. A Mean Gene figure, and I popped his head off, and I put a Vince McMahon on it. And that's one of my announcers. So that's one of my, there's a lot of customizers out there, but how can you compete with me? I merely boiled a head, took it off, and put another one on. I mean, brilliant. Seriously. Let's see if anybody talking. Oh, wow. Get some people. Solo Sikoa, Jey Uso versus Solo Sikoa 2026. Yeah, actually. Yeah, that sounds like a great idea because, like, they're obviously not putting the title around Jay. And I think, Solo Sikoa unfortunately got the bum steer and bum. I think with Jacob Fatu, when he came in, he kind of like just overshadowed Solo. And like in a weird way, I'm rooting for him because I don't think he's a character. It's just, has he brought it with the new Bloodline gimmick? Yay or nay? I think he could do a lot better. I do believe in him though. I think he could be something like really good, like a solid character. I just think he's just missing something. I don't know what that something is, but if he figures it out, I think he'll be back in like prominence. I know, like when he debuted, he was like the Samoan badass or whatever, and then like Jacob Fatu came in and overshined him. And I ain't taking nothing from Jacob Fatu. That dude's awesome. I love whatever he's doing. You know, sucks that, but all right. What else we got? If Jay, it's gonna be portrayed soon. He will with Logan, Paul, and Drew McIntyre, and Paul Heyman, and the two guys. That's what Mr. Guzman, Mr. Saldiastion, and I'm sorry I mispronounced that, but I appreciate you commenting in, and you get some good comments. Yeah, that would be interesting. That would be an interesting turn if they did it at the War Games. I think, like, if they're just like Jay's on the opposite team, and then when in a moment of importance, I think he could turn on him, and that would be pretty cool. I mean, they've been teasing Jay turning for a minute, and like that's the only natural progression. I mean, like. Bro's been eating, Bro's been, in the crowd and everything. He's a ham and he's a fan favorite and everything. And like the live crowds love him. Apparently, the internet crowds not so much. So I think like appeal to that. You know what I mean? Do something with that. Have him turn on something and make it cool. You know what I mean? But like that'd be cool at War Games if he screwed the team and he was the vision. That would be pretty cool. All right, we're going back. I watch WWE. Okay, definitely, bro. Cena versus The Rock 2026. I'm a sucker for that stuff. I'm so nostalgic that, like, to me, The Rock and John Cena are legends. So, for me to say I wouldn't want to see that match would be lying. I mean, I know we've seen it a few times, maybe 3 times, but this is a different era. And with the Rock, with John Cena being in his last year as a final match, that would be interesting. That would be really interesting, and I would definitely tune into that for sure. So good point. Good point, Mr. Guzman. Legend. Jey Uso versus Sikoa. I answered that. What do we get here? Okay, so that. Bronson Reed versus Seth Rollins 2027. Yeah, fortunately, Seth getting injured, it really sucked. I'm not gonna lie, I like that vision angle with Seth at the forefront. I thought that was like a really good like team, and with Paul Heyman and the two badasses beside him, I thought that was a cool team. Now I will say, like, maybe it's a not unpopular statement, but like bringing in Logan Paul, I thought was brilliant. Like, who else? I mean, because he got the heat and everything, and like for an influencer or whatever, I mean, he's an athlete. No one can deny that. And like the fact that he came out of that and actually is a really good wrestler is pretty impressive. When he first, came on the scene, I'm like, oh, this guy's gonna be a joke. But once he got in there, I mean, dude can perform. I mean, there's no denying that for sure. Hey, Coffee FRKN. Yo, Swatty, what up? You cooter. You seen that African wrestling channel YouTube? No, I haven't, but I'll have to check that out. No, I haven't, actually. I believe I saw a few. I want to say I've seen a few things on it, but honestly, I didn't click into it. I've seen some stories, and it seems really cool. You know what? I think because of your comment and just my own wanting to get information, I'm definitely going to have to check that out because it seemed pretty bad bum or badass, if you will. And I want to check that out. I want to see what they're doing over there and just see, if it's something that I like, because different styles, different countries, different areas, European style, the Asian style. So maybe there's an African style of wrestling, and that would be cool to see. Because that would just be different. That's definitely something I'm interested in. So thanks for bringing that up. Hey there. What's up, Unstable Asylum? So pretty much the reason I came on here was to just kind of talk about, there's a lot of sales going on. It's like a Black Friday type of thing. And I posted a few posts. Walmart's got some cheap stuff, although they're selling out quick. But I did see the game, the Ultimate Edition, still available at $15 if you go over there quick. A few other daily poos. What's it called? Pro Wrestling Tees released their pre-order for their O-ring G.I. Joe style figures. A dream of mine all the way. However, as I become an adult, and money is money, I have to pass. And it kills me because it's a great idea. And I don't blame anyone for collecting that. Back in my, like I've said on other live streams, I had a G.I. Joe wrestling fed. Not gonna lie. And it was great. But as an adult, the retro game is so saturated, and that's my jam. It's like, I just can't afford, personally, to take on another line. You know what I mean? Like, damn. And that Macho Man would be the one that I would get out of any of them. However, Pandora's Box, I collect that. Well, what's to say, oh, you can't get Jake? He's a legend. Of course he is. You can't get Rick. Rick, legend all day. You know what I mean? Danhausen, a different story, but, he looks cool. Not my style, because I just collect legends. But Danhausen's a cool-looking wrestler. There's no denying that. So I'll say that much. I'm not too familiar with him, but if you just look at him, I mean, obviously, he's a cool-looking wrestler. So the 4-pack they get over there at Pro Wrestling Tees might be worth it. You save $20. It's 100 for 4. I know that breaks down to 25 a piece. I don't know. I'm a cheap ass. I mean, I remember going back in the day and seeing those shits for like $3 or $4. So like, the old man Walker in the wheelchair and me is, oh, whippersnappers charging 25 a piece if I break it down. But it ain't really like that. I mean, like, I'm sure they're trying their best. This is 2025. This ain't effing 1993. As much as some days I wish it was, and I could just go to a Toys R Us and check out the toy section. That's for sure. Michael. Friends, high school. Any more free below heart? Happy birthday, celebrate. Free below freezing water money? I don't know what the heck you're talking about, but I like it. It's very disconjointed. It's very interesting. I don't know what the HE double hockey sticks you're talking about, but I like it. There's a million hearts. Happy birthday, May 1st. You missed it, but that's okay. Celebrate. I always do. Free below freezing water money. Ice money? Does that mean ice money? Okay. All right. Before it gets too late in this, the almost 20-minute mark. So I did say, for all those tuning in, Danny Davis, Title Run Toys. Okay, first figure that has come in the retro form. A man after my own heart. It says Origin, Dover, New Hampshire. What up, New Hampshire? And Guilford is where he really was from. Word up to the Dan Davis man representing the New Hampshire. And I love you, bro. And we're gonna unbox this, or unbox this, as I call it, right effing now. So, here we go. Picking them off. We're picking them off. Card bends. Oh, he's on there, baby. For all you Midnight card collectors, I'm ruining this card. I'm ruining it. Crap. Okay, we take it off. Bam. as we see, 3-year-old, 2-year-old style of ripping of the card package. I still have these, and although I'm not going to be doing, which I banned on the channel, I'm not going to be doing the episodes of unboxing. I will be unboxing on every live. I'll have a figure every time. So I'm hoping that will be enough for people to want to tune in and check it out. It's a little plastic stupid ass. And here's Danny D. Check out the back. Now, as you can see, I just unboxed it. No playware, but there is a blackie spot right on the back, if you can see it, baby. So we turn him around. Well, actually, let's look at his bum, because we got her. And it does say dangerous, which is lovely. Tights, accurate. The boots, accurate. I like how they fold the lines all the way down. So as we stand him here, there have been complaints about the head being a little too big. You know what? I'll only say slightly. Slightly. I mean, that's good. This is a good figure. Title on Toys each, yeah. This is pretty good. I mean, the joints are tight, waist tight, head's tight. Is the head a little big? A little bit. A little bit. However, as a big-headed man myself, I can appreciate this retro. And I will say that this is pretty damn good. If you want to go over to Silent Run Toys, Danny Davis, they also got a whole host of other people, mostly like WCW talents, like the Cat, Wrath, Juventud Guerrero. There's also a Paul Orndorff, Mr. Wonderful, which I unboxed on Waddy's channel, which reminds me, every Monday on Waddy's channel, 7 p.m. live stream, me and him, do it. You gotta go and check it out. You gotta tune in. But here's DD. Shows again. Black little spot on the back or gray. All right. That's disappointing because I literally just snatched the suit out the package. You know what I'm saying? But he does long, white, long, short. Damn it. If I could talk. Long, short tee, baby. And then he's got those striped down to the boots. And it's looking good on that point. He's got a punchy hand. He's got a hey there or hello there. And I think it's meant to count the 1, 2, 3. Yes! Yes! You know, that type of thing. So that's what Danny Davis is there for. I mean, he could be a referee. He could be part of your Heart Foundation. He could be just a dude that you bring in. However, great figure. I wouldn't actually mind him in the actually traditional referee gear if TRT is low. Because I would pick that up too. But I know this is specifically his wrestling gear, which is pretty sweet. Goes with your Heart Foundation. Goes with your Jimmy Hart any day. Like I said, arms tight. Head's tight. Is the head a little big? I said yes. But only a little. It's acceptable. I mean, it's not like, oh my God, he's a bobblehead. It's a little biggish. But like I said, as a man with a gigantic dome body, I can accept that. And I can even love it and even kiss it. So this is Danny Davis right there. He's got the dangerous bum, if you haven't seen it. Where's that card? Oh, crap. Oh, here we go. For the card, it's all going to be backwards, but these are some of the other dudes that are available. You got Mr. Wonderful, you got Wrath, you got the Cat, you got Juventud Guerrero, and full disclosure, I got them all. And we get the variants of Wrath and Juventud, so those will probably be unboxed soon. I unboxed Paul Orndorff. Paul Orndorff. That's a good move. That's a good name. Paul Orndorff, Mr. Wonderful. I unboxed him on Watch Channel a little bit back, so go check that out if you want to see that. He's got the pile driver action and the moving legs. It seems unique to him. As I looked at the other figures and the joints, and it seems like the legs aren't moving. That's cool, but we want to see the rest of them. I want to see the rest of them, especially since, as far as figure news, you know, we've seen the Beverly Brothers pre-order for a while on Title Run. I personally pre-ordered the 1 out of 300 or 350 or whatever Beverly's. I know that Epic's coming out with a version, and I won't lie. Before TRT came here, as you know, I'm a very I love what Epic does, so I had to hold out. However, when they came out with the 1 in 350, even though it didn't have the cape, it was like, okay, let me see how this is, and let me see what I want to do, because like now we get two companies coming out like the same Beverly Brothers with the same action. Now it's like, which one's better? So that's what I'm saying. I don't need both. So I'm trying to see which one is better. Did order the 1 out of 300, and I hope it comes great. It's from, I think, SummerSlam 92. So that's big news was the O-rings, the G.I. Joe, 3 3/4. Pro Wrestling Tees dropped that. $100 for the 4. And that's a $20 discount because they're apparently going to be $30 after that. Me personally, if I was going to do it, sans Danhausen, I'll wait for the other 3. However, it's a good deal. And I will say Danhausen does look cool as a toy. Just not up my collector's alley. So, if you want to get on that and you want all 4 and you want to save $5 per figure, I'd go over to Pro Wrestling Tees. Scoop it up. I think it's only available for a week. Title Run Toys, they revealed the Harley race. Or they've said the Harley race, but they revealed a more detailed version. You got the non-bloody and the red tights. You got the bloody and the blue tights. And personally, it was I pre-ordered the blue tights with the blood because I ain't gonna miss that. Now the one in the red is cool, and I'm going back and forth, but I'm like, I don't know. So many figures there, so little time, so little money. We get to all be million to trillion to billionaires or whatever, you know, all in between. So it's a lot to go on. And I only collect retros myself, and I'm already thinking, like, do we got to take out a second mortgage? I mean, because that's just how the game is. We all know that. So let me try to get to any of these questions if anyone asked them, and it looks like they did. The Movie Channel. Hello, Canada. Well, hello to you. No way, dude. That thing is older than me. Oh, wow. I subscribed. Hopefully, I catch it. This looks expensive. I love the Star Wars guys like this. Hee hee. LOL. Movie Channel. Thank you. Thank you for subbing up. Thank you for looking out. Star Wars guys like this. If you're interested in Star Wars guys like this, actually, I can tell you. Figure Collections, which is a great company, and they make great retros and great bone crunching figures. The bone crunching era, you know, back in the day where they, you know, the kind of rubbery ones with the Stone Cold and Rock prominent in like late 96 on to probably like 2000. Figure Collections. And oh crap, I wish I had one close, but I don't. Figure Collections makes a nice bone cruncher action figure. Now, on the first couple they put out, they actually had the bone crunching feature with Blue Meanie and Atom Bomb. I can see how that would be a cost thing. So from the figures on, they haven't. However, great figures. Great figures. Macho Man Randy Savage. I got the OG loose, and I got the 1 in whatever 100. I forget how many 100. There's like a black and white version. I kept that on the card. I got a couple Jeff Jarrett's to unbox. I got Janchel. I got Gilbert. I got Ultimo Dragon. I got Sonny Ono. And there might be more. Cool idea, cool line. I guess when I listened to the major pod thing, they said like they're not getting the love they deserve. I wish they would. I actually have a Bone Crunchers collection, loose from package, but mint from box. Like I literally would buy them from the box, open them, and store them just so they're like perfect. And I'm only missing a few, so I did get on this bone crushing wrestling, as they call it. Again, figurecollections.com. Go check it out. I mean, they're good figures. I mean, they line up with the Bone Crunchers so well. And they actually, I guess the point I was supposed to make from the Bone Crunchers was those Star Wars style figures, they also have something similar to that if you're into the reaction figures, which is the Macho Man Randy Savage, Andre the Giant. I mean, they're up pre-order if you want those like Star Wars style. They're there too. I mean, the figure companies, I can see why they're trying to branch out. I'm just a retro collector and I'm exhausted, you know what I mean? So I can see how they're looking for other ways or other avenues of revenue. And that makes total sense. And I won't lie, like I've said before, the G.I. Joe, the 3 3/4 style, brilliant, brilliant idea. I just personally, how much money is too much money when you know you can't pay your rent. You know you can't do this. So I'm just focusing on retros and I still gotta pick my spots, you know what I'm saying? Like KWK recently dropped Dory Funk Jr., which I was pumped at, but it only afford one of them. So I got the one with the blue tights, the earliest edition. I mean, nothing against Dory Funk, he's a legend, but like, and how much can I afford? And KWK is one of the most affordable companies. I did get all three of their Orient Express though. I'm a sucker for Orient Express. They even had a fantasy gear with like white, and it's actually really cool, and I'm excited for that. I do have a Fig Fed, so I'm thinking I just for them too. So if you're just that regular, and that's fine. No, like you're just a regular collector. You don't have a Fig Fed. You just want to display them, want to make them look nice. Maybe you want them loosey goosey. Um, yeah, then maybe you wouldn't want the white gear Orient Express. I wouldn't blame you. The red and black really sick. So I mean, I guess like choose your own path on that one. But I love what KWK does. I think they're a great company. I got all the Flash Funks coming. Can't wait for that. I got a Bull Nakano coming. I got a Well Done coming. I mean, there's a lot of things coming down the pike. So it should be pretty exciting. Is that not Disco Fever, the wrestler? Disco Fever, the wrestler. Um, I'm trying to think back of what I've said. Disco Fever the wrestler, I don't know. I know Disco Inferno. I know that he played a character that was based in the 70s that existed in the 90s. I don't know if for whatever reason you'd think I look disco. I'm not saying that you do, but that would be a little weird. So bro, Ricardo, Norton, is that not Disco Fever, the wrestler? That is what you said. So, I mean, if you want, and I'm not trying to be mean, if you want to clarify, I honestly, like, kindly don't know what the HE double hockey sticks you're talking about. So, I mean, I appreciate the comment, but if you could clarify a little bit, it would be much appreciated. So, we're at the 35-minute mark. I might be chopping this one down, but I did on this episode on Unbox. Danny is from TRT, Title Run Toys. They got like pre-orders up right now for Harley Race. They've had pre-orders up for Beverly Brothers. So I thought it might be a good idea just to unbox this, and I'll just show you once again. Left arm, and it's backwards on the screen. Actually, I'm blind in my right eye, which is funny. So there goes that. Waist is looking good. People have complained about the head. And like I said, slightly big, but not alarming. And if you look at it, it looks just like a little bit of right off the package, a little dot on the back. Honestly, like, I don't like it, but I'm not going to be super picky, but I don't like it either. However, would I recommend getting a Danny Davis retro from TRT Title Run Toys? And as I look at his little face, I have to say, yeah, go for it. And I don't know if this particular one's available, but they do have some damaged card deals. So if you're just looking for this bad dog off the card, then that might be the way to go, because you just get damaged card packing. Now, I don't quote me. I don't know if every figure is available on that, but I did see on their site at one time there was damaged card discounts. So if you're a loosey goosey like myself, I mean, the way to go. I didn't go that way myself. Missed out on some saved money, but that's okay. So this is Danny Davis. He'll wave to you. He'll give you a good time. But there he is. So I think I've, excuse me, cut it all down to the very last compound. So today was just more like, I wanted to talk like the sales. I wanted to talk about TRT because they got the two Harleys. They just recently had the Beverlys, and there's a lot of pre-orders coming from them. So I just wanted to, besides the Paul Orndorff that I am bumboxed, I want to see what another figure looks like. But I'm not disappointed with Danny Boy. You know what I mean? New Hampshire native. I gotta love him. Like, again, love you. So yeah, I mean, the yours. How much do you love your Danny Davis? You know what I mean? How much do you need Danny Davis in the fig pit? Because, like, yeah, this is fine. I mean, like, again, people with the head, I could see that, but, like, eh. I think a little nitpicky. I think it looks great. And again, the count with the hand, you can duality, you know what I mean? You can make him a ref, you can make him a player. I know he's not in the traditional ref gear, but he's got the little pantalones and the boots. So you could always, like, squeeze him in as a special ref or whatever. Maybe have him give the old screw job to someone against the foundation. Oh my goodness, it's Danny Davis, he did it. So something like that or whatever. But yeah, so that's him. So I think we reached the conclusion here. I appreciate anybody that tuned in. Always come to my channel for updates and any news on figures. I'll always post everything. I always like to post whenever there's sales, because I know how personally expensive this effing hobby is. So when there's any sales, like whether they be elite, whether they be ultimate, whether they be even WWE superstars, and of course if they're retro, I want to share those sales with you, because, like, I know from personal experience, getting a sale or getting a discount on something makes or breaks your collection. And I mean, let's call a spade a spade. I think we all know that. We'd all like indispensable income, you know what I mean? Like, where we could just buy whatever the F we want. That would be sweet. I don't know about you. If you can do that, you did something. So congratulations to you. But me, as I said, I gotta pick, I gotta choose, I gotta draw the line in the sand. But all points in between. So appreciate anybody that looked in. Appreciate anybody that chat. Appreciate anybody that listened, subscribed, gave the old thumbs up, like, Ho! Appreciate that. Definitely stay tuned. I want to make a scheduled live stream every week, so this isn't so random. Where the subbers or the people that we can at least get a little bit of notice. I kind of ran this one rampage though, but I just was like, there's so much going on and so many sales. I just wanted to like tap in and just try to explain that, and also explain like how my channel is going to be a little more towards a sort of different direction. But if you read the post, you already know that. So I guess right now the only thing left to do is say, thank you for checking out Bum Shadows. Thank you for viewing. Always come back. There's always going to be something different, always something interesting, and always something that you'll want to watch. So, with that said, I will say